Greetings for the day. Welcome to another session of Cyber Law and Ethics. My name is Muhammad Rahmat Ali. In today's session, we're going to learn about how do internet web threats spread. But before we start, let me revise what are the things that we have studied in the previous session. In the previous session, we studied about how do web threat works, and also we have studied with reference to what are the web threats. In today's session, we are going to learn about how the internet web threats are being spread among the network or within the network or within the channel or within the device. Now, see, when any of the device is being connected to any of the network, the possibility of getting attacked within that network, by that network, or some X person from that network, or some of the person outside of the network, or the probability of getting attacked is 50%, approximately about 50%, and the chances of getting recovered from that particular attack is also 50%. Now, if at all, if any of the vulnerabilities happen within the network or within that particular system, there is a mechanism to overcome that particular thing. That is what we call as antivirus, and there is a mechanism to block that particular threat or block that particular thing is called as the firewall. Firewall is a mechanism to block that threat, and antivirus is a process of recovering that particular thing. Now, with reference to web threats, it can be anything. It can be internal, it can be external, it can be pre-planned, or it can be with reference to testing of the things. It can be anything. But how do internet web threats spread? Today we are going to see, and we are going to learn about those things. The first, it says the most concerning internet threat travels to the web to attack more systems. The main reason why any of the system is been attacked is either for information or for the access. Either of the things. It can be either for information or it can be with reference to the access. Now, these threat agents often use a mix of human manipulation and technical commands to reach their targets. Further, web threats of this nature use the internet's many communication channels to spread. Larger threats use the global internet to respond to threats, while more targeted threats may directly infiltrate private networks. Now, see, to understand this particular thing, we should stop at this moment and we should understand that some of the applications or some of the web threads or some of the internet accesses that you are using might require your permissions. For example, if at all if you open any of the website, they will be having accept cookies or reject, something like this. Majority of the time we accept that cookies. Do we know what type of cookies it is? Do we know that cookies are certified or not? Do we know that cookies might get access to our system, or do we know that particular cookies might harm our system also? Or if at all if you download any of the movies from any of the website, there you will be getting some of the messages like this file is not safe. Do you want to download? You will click on yes, and the file will get downloaded. The moment that file get downloaded, or the moment that cookies get downloaded, now it starts spreading in your system. It can spread in the form of Trojan war, it can spread in the form of worms, it can spread in the form of any of the virus, which can I can say, it's not sure, which can pass the information from your local system to the host system, or that particular virus can duplicate the files, or that particular virus can corrupt any of the file, or that particular virus or worm can manipulate your system, or that particular virus or worm can take control of your control panel. Anything can happen. Now, in a broader picture, networks can get attacked. In a minor region or within a local system, the system personal information can be attacked. Now, this particular thing comes when you get access to the internet. So is the reason it is been recommended that to have an antivirus or total internet security while accessing the internet. Okay, now further it says typically these threats are distributed through web-based services. Malicious actors prefer to place these threats in location where users will often engage with them. Further, public websites, social media, web forums, and emails are often ideal for spreading a web threat. Now, this is very important. Now, what do you mean by this? This means, see, in your memory, the attacker might embed a code which will give access to that attacker. If at all, if you have any of your elder brothers who are working in IT company, if at all if you have any of your siblings or any of the relatives who works in IT company, they will be provided with a laptop, but they cannot put any of the pen drive to it. It is prohibited to put a pen drive to it. Why? Because that system is being secured with that particular network. If at all some of the external device has been connected to that particular system, that external device might harm that laptop. If at all that laptop is getting harmed, it means the whole of the company is getting harmed. Why? Because this particular laptop or that particular laptop is been connected to that network. And also in some of the companies, only the email address used by that particular company will only be received. No additional emails can be sent or received from that company. Only limited emails will be given access. Why? Because that particular emails or that particular files might harm the network or might harm that local system or might harm that particular network. Also, if at all if you are putting any of the pen drive or external memory device to it, it will be taken or it will be considered in the log. When the logs are being checked, you will be asked cross questions. You will be asked cross questions. So the people affiliated to that particular thing will be taken into radar and will be in the radar for investigation. Okay. Now, if at all if any of the company information is being leaked, it might give a loss of millions of $1,000,000, or it can give a gain of millions and millions of dollars. So these web threats are very important. Okay. And also, we do not worry that particular things about the web threats, because by default the system that we are using will have inbuilt antivirus and inbuilt firewall, but only the condition is that you should be using a genuine operating system and genuine softwares, so only it will help you in this particular thing. Now, how this will be transferred? See, if at all if you observe, you will be clicking on some of the links. Those links can be with reference to the public websites, those links can be with reference to the social media, those links can be with reference to the web forum, or the common attack that is been done is with reference to the emails. See, if at all if you are opening any of the email, you should be sure that this email is coming from a secured person or from a secured place. In the name of the person who's sending email is ABCXYZ. Will you open that email? No. But the first instance, you will think about whether should I open this email or not. So this should be there. If at all it looks like similar to a person who is authentic, but you are not sure, so you will not click on the links provided in that particular email. Okay. So this is with reference to the web threat spread. Now, how to spot web threats? Now, how will you spot with reference to the web threats? Now, see, getting access or spotting the error or spotting the vulnerability is a bit difficult task. You should be well aware of every of the things, then only you can spot the web threats. And there is another method, you can check the logs. By that also you can spot the web threats or the vulnerabilities. Now it says, despite the unending scope of web-based danger, it is possible to spot some general traits of web threats. However, spotting a web threat requires vigilant eye to catch the subtle errors or subtle details. Now, what do you mean by this? See, uh, if at all, if you have seen any of the Sherlock Holmes movies or Sherlock Holmes web series or Sherlock Holmes type of detective type of things, they will look at the things and they will uh, put a guess, and also with reference to that, they will know what exactly was the thing and how the things has happened. So if at all, if you are that much uh, having confident or that much in your things, then only you can spot a web threat. Second one says some web threats are clearly of concern to web infrastructure hardware such as water and heat, while those are easier to spot. Others require careful attention. Anytime you are browsing website and receiving digital messages are when you should be most cautious. See, the moment I am uploading this particular video and the moment you are viewing this particular video, there might be a link provided in between of this video or within this in the description. If at all, if you like in the video, if at all say like if you click on that particular link, you will follow all those distinct steps, then there might be a chance that I might mislead you, or if at all if you are very much sure that this particular website is being dangerous, then you will not open that particular website. Now see how to spot whether the website is safe or not. You should see for the prefix of the website. If at all if it is HTTP and HTTPS, you should go with HTTPS because it is saved site of things. Okay, S indicates that this particular website is secure website. So only if at all you are receiving any of the messages from the bank, you should see the first part this, and the bank managers are also telling us to see for this particular thing before clicking on any of the websites. But because every of the bank website will be having HTTPS as a prefix, not as HTTP. Okay. Now, when you are requesting any of the server, the data that you will be receiving, that particular data can be malicious, cannot be malicious. Now if at all we are having a good antivirus and a good firewall, then it will block those particular websites, or it will not allow the cookies to get downloaded. Okay, now this is how you spot the web threats. Now here are some of the tips to guide you. The first one is with reference to the grammar. Malicious actors may not always carefully craft their message or web content when assembling an attack. Look up for typos, odd punctuations and unusual paraphrasing. Like you can understand this particular thing very well. If at all any of the web threats is happening, like in the emails will be written with some of the odd or anything like messages. The second one is with reference to the URLs. Harmful links can be masked under decoy anchor text. The visible text that displays you can, however, a link to inspect its true destination. Okay, the next one is with reference to poor quality images. It says the use of low resolution or unofficial images may indicate a malicious web page or messages. Okay, now the next one is with reference to the types of web security threats, or the different types of web security threats. Now with reference to the web security threats, there are a number of things that comes into picture. The first one is with the reference to the social engineering, phishing, watering hole attacks, network spoofing, and etc. of everything. Now, to get an idea what actually the things are, the first thing that we should understand is with reference to the type of system that we are using, and the type of network that we are using, and the type of environment in which we are working. See, at some instance, the attack might be external, but you might be thinking that this attack is an internal attack. But if at all, if you keenly observe that particular attack, then you will understand that these attacks was being done by an external, not by an internal person. So you should be very much cautious when when you are in the cyber space. Now it says, as mentioned previously, web threats typically include human and technical manipulation in order to attack. Be aware there tends to be overlap between web threads and some may occur simultaneously. Some of the most common web threads include the following. The first one is with reference to social engineering. This is very important. This is very important with reference to, if at all you want to make your career in security, network security, in cyber security, or with reference to networks, then this is very important. Social engineering. Social engineering involves deceiving users to act unknowingly against their own best interests. These threats usually involve gaining the trust of users to deceive them. Manipulating users in this way can include phishing, water hole attack, and network spoofing. Now, what do you mean by phishing? Phishing means the website looks very much genuine, but it's not a genuine website. It is a website which is being duplicated, or the website is being having another URL, but it looks like a similar thing. Like I'm sure, like everyone was being attacked once until now with the phishing attack. Your username and password was being breached. Your username and password was being breached. How? With reference to the links that we get on your mobile phone, either with reference to WhatsApp, either with reference to the SMS that we will be getting, or either with reference to any of the links in the groups or in any of the forums or in any of the what do you call as blogs. There you will be having some of the links. That link may land you to another website instead of the actual website. Okay. Now, with reference to phishing, it says posing as legitimate institution or people to get them to divulge personal details. Now, these phishing attacks might include taking your personal information with reference to username, password, with reference to your personal details, with reference to any of the things. Okay. The next one is with reference to watering hole attacks, which says exploiting popular websites to fool users into exposing them to themselves to harm. Next one is with reference to the network spoofing. Spoofing is the act of acting similar to it but in a different way. Okay, acting similar to it but in a different. The network address or the what you call as the ID that is being used might be very much similar, but not the actual one. So it says fraudulent access point that mimic legitimate one. So this is what we call as with reference to the network spoofing. Okay, I hope you understood something in today's session. We'll stop it over here. I hope you understood something from today's session, and I hope you got an idea with reference to what web security is all about and how to spot a web threat and how a web threat is being spread in the network. If at all you have any doubt, you can ping me at ramat_ali2@com, or we can have a soon doubt clarification session to clarify all of the doubts. That's all for now. See you in the next session. Thank you for listening.